Sorry that the video stopped partway through. Hopefully you were saying out loud these big ideas. Instantaneous velocity means velocity in instant. And to make a velocity time graph from a position time graph, we have to find the velocity at each instant. So to do that, we draw in tangent lines. Sorry, just put with the pen. We draw in tangent lines. We find the slope of those tangent lines, and those slopes are the instantaneous velocity. I made up a number to help you. Let's say this line has a slope of -2. I find 2 points on it, and I calculate the slope. It's got a slope of -2. That means the velocity at that instant is -2. So I put like a number on there and said, oh, let's pretend that's -2. Here's another line. Let's pretend this line has a slope of -1. So at this instant of time then, the velocity is -1. And I could keep going. This line here has a slope of 0. At that instant of time, the velocity is 0. This line here is a positive slope. If I find 2 points on the line and calculate the slope, it'll tell me the number at that instant of time. This one slope tells me the velocity at that instant of time. The third and final thing we need to know is the meaning of the slope on the velocity time graph. And to find the meaning of the slope on the velocity time graph, it helps to have numbers, so I just made some up. Again, let's say that velocity is -2. Let's say that slope is 5. It's got weird units because it's rise units, meters per second, over run units, seconds. And so we're going to write a mathematical model. If you need review on Unit 1, writing mathematical models, take a pause and try it before I show you the mathematical model. But if you don't and you know how to write mathematical models, then you will agree with what I'm about to show you, which is the mathematical model for this graph looks like this. Instead of y, we put in the name v. Instead of x, we put in the name t. Instead of m, we put in the slope and the units, rise units over run units. Instead of b, we put in the y-intercept with the y units. And the last thing I want you to do, the very last pause, is to say a for every statement for this and a when the statement for that. Tell me a for every statement for the y-intercept and a when the statement. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my 5th attempt making this video. It keeps cutting out, so sorry about the repeat. Tell me a when the statement for this number. There we go. And a for every statement for that. Take a pause. Say it out loud. Okay, if I was saying a when the statement for -2, I'd say when the time is 0 seconds, the velocity is